The galaxy was at peace, or so it seemed. For centuries, the United Stellar Alliance had maintained order among the star systems, ensuring that no single faction grew too powerful. Trade routes flourished, colonies thrived, and the memory of war had faded into history. But beneath the surface of this fragile peace, whispers of an ancient weapon began to spread, a warship so powerful it had been sealed away by the ancestors of the Alliance, forbidden to ever rise again. On a remote, barren moon on the edge of known space, a young engineer named Alex worked tirelessly to repair a malfunctioning mining drone. The moon, designated X-427, was a desolate place, its surface scarred by craters and dust storms. It was the kind of place no one visited unless they had to, and Alex was only there because the Alliance had sent them on a routine maintenance mission. As Alex tinkered with the drone, a strange signal caught their attention. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but it was there, a low hum that seemed to come from beneath the moon's surface. Curiosity piqued, Alex followed the signal, using a handheld scanner to trace its source. After hours of searching, they found it, a hidden vault buried deep within the moon's rocky crust. The vault was ancient, its walls covered in symbols that no one had seen in millennia. The door, massive and imposing, was sealed shut, but Alex managed to bypass the lock using their engineering skills. Inside, the air was cold and still, and the only light came from the faint glow of the scanner. And then, Alex saw it. The warship was enormous, its sleek black hull gleaming faintly under the dim light. It was unlike anything Alex had ever seen, its design was both alien and familiar, as if it belonged to a forgotten era of galactic history. The ship was dormant, but it radiated an aura of power, as if it were alive and waiting. As Alex approached, the ship's systems suddenly activated. A holographic message appeared, projected from the ship's hull. The message was in an ancient language, but the ship's AI translated it into a language Alex could understand. "Beware the forbidden warship," the message said. "Its power is unmatched, but its purpose is destruction. Do not awaken it unless the galaxy faces its darkest hour." Alex hesitated. The ship was clearly dangerous, but its technology could change everything. The Alliance had always been cautious, even stagnant, in its approach to innovation. This ship, with its advanced systems and weapons, could push the galaxy forward, or tear it apart. With a mix of fear and curiosity, Alex made a decision that would alter the course of history. They activated the ship's core systems, and the warship began to hum with energy. Lights flickered on, and the ship's AI spoke for the first time in centuries. "Welcome, operator," it said. "I am the Eclipse. State your command." Alex's heart raced. The warship was no longer forgotten, it was awake. As the Eclipse rose from its ancient vault, the ground shook, and dust rained down from the cavern's ceiling. Alex barely had time to board the ship before the vault collapsed behind them. The Eclipse burst through the moon's surface, its engines roaring as it ascended into the void of space. From the ship's bridge, Alex stared out at the stars, a mix of awe and dread filling their chest. The Eclipse was a marvel, a relic of a bygone age, but it was also a weapon of unimaginable power. And now, it was in their hands. Unbeknownst to Alex, the activation of the Eclipse had sent ripples across the galaxy. The Alliance's sensors detected the energy surge, and within hours, reports began to flood in. The Void Marauders, a rogue faction that had long sought to overthrow the Alliance, also caught wind of the warship's awakening. The galaxy, once at peace, was now on the brink of chaos. And at the center of it all was Alex, a young engineer who had stumbled upon a forbidden relic, and unleashed its power upon the stars. The Eclipse was awake, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Eclipse soared through the void of space, its sleek black hull cutting through the darkness like a shadow. Alex stood on the bridge, still trying to process what had just happened. The warship's AI, calm and methodical, guided them through the basic controls, but the sheer scale of the ship's capabilities was overwhelming. Weapon systems, cloaking devices, faster-than-light engines, everything was far beyond anything Alex had ever seen. As the initial shock wore off, Alex realized the gravity of the situation. The Eclipse was not just a ship, it was a relic of immense power, and its awakening would not go unnoticed. The warning from the holographic message echoed in their mind: do not awaken it unless the galaxy faces its darkest hour. Alex couldn't help but wonder if they had made a terrible mistake. Meanwhile, in a distant sector of the galaxy, the Void Marauders were already on the move. The Marauders, a ruthless faction of pirates and mercenaries, had long sought to overthrow the United Stellar Alliance. Their leader, a cunning strategist named Kale, had spies everywhere, and the news of the Eclipse's activation reached him within hours. Kale saw the warship as the key to his ambitions. With its power, he could crush the Alliance and claim dominion over the galaxy. He immediately dispatched a fleet to intercept the Eclipse, ordering his forces to capture the ship at all costs. Back on the Eclipse, Alex was still figuring out how to navigate the ship's systems when the sensors detected incoming vessels. The AI alerted Alex to the approaching fleet, displaying a holographic map of the surrounding space. The Marauders' ships were fast and heavily armed, closing in on the Eclipse with alarming speed. Panic set in. Alex had no combat experience, and the thought of facing an entire fleet was terrifying. But the Eclipse's AI remained calm. "Operator, I am equipped with advanced defensive and offensive systems. Would you like me to engage the hostile forces?" Alex hesitated. They didn't want to fight, but they had no choice. The Marauders wouldn't listen to reason, and surrendering the Eclipse to them was unthinkable. "Do it," Alex said, their voice trembling. The Eclipse sprang into action. Its weapon systems activated, and the ship's hull shimmered as its cloaking device engaged. The Marauders' fleet opened fire, but their attacks bounced harmlessly off the Eclipse's energy shields. The warship returned fire, its plasma cannons tearing through the enemy ships with terrifying precision. The battle was brief but devastating. The Eclipse moved with a grace and power that left Alex in awe. Within minutes, the Marauders' fleet was reduced to debris, their ships drifting lifelessly in the void. As the last enemy ship was destroyed, Alex slumped into the command chair, their hands shaking. The Eclipse was a force of destruction, just as the warning had said. But Alex also realized that the ship could be used for good, if it fell into the right hands. The AI's voice broke the silence. "Operator, the hostile forces have been neutralized. However, it is likely that more will come. What are your orders?" Alex took a deep breath, trying to steady their nerves. They knew they couldn't stay in one place for long. The Alliance would have detected the battle, and it was only a matter of time before they sent their own forces to investigate. "Set a course for uncharted space," Alex said. "We need to stay off the radar until we figure out what to do next." The Eclipse's engines hummed as the ship accelerated, leaving the wreckage of the Marauders' fleet behind. As they traveled deeper into the unknown, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The galaxy was vast, but there was no hiding a ship like the Eclipse. Somewhere in the shadows, Kale watched the battle's aftermath on a holographic screen. His fleet had been destroyed, but he wasn't deterred. If anything, the Eclipse's power only made him more determined to claim it. "The warship is mine," Kale muttered, his eyes gleaming with ambition. "And no one will stand in my way." The Eclipse had awakened, and the first spark of conflict had been lit. The galaxy, once at peace, was now on the brink of war. The destruction of the Void Marauders' fleet did not go unnoticed. The United Stellar Alliance, ever vigilant, had been monitoring the sector for unusual activity. When their sensors detected the energy signatures of the Eclipse's weapons, alarms blared across their command centers. High above the capital planet of the Alliance, in the orbiting command station known as Celestial Horizon, Admiral Rin, a seasoned and stoic leader, reviewed the data. The reports were clear: an unknown vessel had single-handedly decimated a Marauder fleet. The ship's design and capabilities matched no known records, and its power was beyond anything the Alliance had ever encountered. "This is no ordinary ship," Rin muttered, her sharp eyes narrowing as she studied the holographic projections. "It's a threat. A big one." The High Council convened an emergency meeting. The eclipse was declared a top priority threat, and orders were issued to locate and secure the ship at all costs. The Alliance could not afford to let such power fall into the wrong hands, or remain in the hands of an unknown operator. Meanwhile, Alex and the Eclipse were deep in uncharted space, far from the prying eyes of the Alliance. The warship's AI had guided them to a remote asteroid field, where they could hide and regroup. Alex spent hours exploring the ship's archives, trying to learn more about its origins and purpose. The more they discovered, the more uneasy they felt. The Eclipse was not just a weapon, it was a relic of an ancient civilization that had once ruled the galaxy. That civilization had fallen because of their own greed and ambition, and the Eclipse was their final creation, a testament to their hubris. As Alex delved deeper, the AI revealed a chilling detail: the Eclipse was designed to protect something, a secret so powerful that it could reshape the galaxy. But the AI's protocols prevented it from revealing the full truth, leaving Alex with more questions than answers. Their thoughts were interrupted when the ship's sensors detected an incoming transmission. It was from the Alliance. "Unidentified vessel, this is Admiral Rin of the United Stellar Alliance. You are in possession of a highly dangerous asset. Surrender the ship immediately, or you will be considered an enemy of the galaxy." Alex froze. They had hoped to avoid the Alliance, but now they were being hunted. The Eclipse's AI analyzed the transmission and displayed a map of the surrounding space. A fleet of Alliance ships was closing in, their engines burning bright against the void. "Operator, the Alliance forces are approaching," the AI said. "Their intentions appear hostile. What are your orders?" Alex's mind raced. Surrendering the Eclipse to the Alliance might seem like the logical choice, but they couldn't shake the feeling that the ship's power was too great for anyone to control. And then there was the secret it guarded, a secret that could change everything. "Prepare the ship for evasive maneuvers," Alex said, their voice steady despite the fear gnawing at them. "We can't let them take it." The Eclipse's engines roared to life as it surged forward, weaving through the asteroid field with incredible speed. The Alliance fleet gave chase, their ships firing warning shots that streaked past the Eclipse's hull. But the warship was faster and more agile than anything the Alliance had ever seen. With the AI's guidance, Alex managed to outmaneuver their pursuers, slipping into a narrow warp corridor that the Alliance ships couldn't follow. As the Eclipse emerged on the other side of the corridor, Alex let out a breath they didn't realize they'd been holding. They had escaped, for now. But the Alliance would not give up so easily. The galaxy was no longer at peace. The Eclipse had awakened, and its power had drawn the attention of the most powerful forces in the galaxy. Alex knew that the road ahead would be fraught with danger, but they also knew one thing for certain: the galaxy would never be the same. The Eclipse drifted silently in the depths of uncharted space, its systems running at minimal power to avoid detection. Alex sat in the ship's dimly lit archives, surrounded by holographic projections of ancient texts and schematics. The more they learned about the Eclipse, the more they realized how little they truly understood. The warship was not just a weapon, it was a guardian. Its creators, an advanced civilization known as the Eternans, had built it to protect something of immense value, a secret so powerful that it could reshape the galaxy. But the Eclipse's AI was bound by strict protocols, preventing it from revealing the full truth. Frustrated, Alex turned to the AI. "You keep saying the Eclipse was designed to protect something. What is it? What are we guarding?" The AI's response was cryptic. "The secret is classified. Access requires authorization from an Eternan operative. No such operative is currently active." Alex groaned. "Of course. A dead civilization leaves behind a warship with a secret it won't tell me. Perfect. As they continued to sift through the archives, a new holographic projection appeared. It was a star map, highlighting a distant system with a single habitable planet. The system was marked with the same ancient symbols that adorned the Eclipse's hull. "Is this where we need to go?" Alex asked. "Affirmative," the AI replied. "The system is designated as a secure location. It may contain the information you seek." Alex hesitated. The journey would take them even farther from Alliance space, deeper into the unknown. But they had no other leads. The Eclipse's secret was too important to ignore. "Set a course for that system," Alex said. "But keep us cloaked. We can't afford to draw any more attention." The Eclipse's engines hummed as the ship accelerated, slipping into a warp corridor that would take them to the distant system. As they traveled, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The galaxy was vast, but the Eclipse was a beacon of power, and its enemies were relentless. Meanwhile, the United Stellar Alliance was in turmoil. Admiral Rin had reported the Eclipse's escape to the High Council, and the news had sparked heated debates. Some argued that the warship should be destroyed at all costs, while others believed it could be a valuable asset if controlled. In the shadows, the Void Marauders were also on the move. Kale, their leader, had learned of the Eclipse's destination through his network of spies. He saw the warship's journey as an opportunity, a chance to intercept it and claim its power for himself. As the Eclipse emerged from the warp corridor, the distant system came into view. The habitable planet was a lush, green world, its surface dotted with ruins that bore the same ancient symbols as the Eclipse. Alex felt a surge of hope. "This is it. We're close." But as the Eclipse approached the planet, the ship's sensors detected an incoming transmission. It was from the surface, a faint, repeating signal in the same ancient language as the Eclipse's archives. The AI translated the message, "Welcome, operator. The truth awaits." Alex's heart raced. They were about to uncover the Eclipse's secret, and with it, the key to the galaxy's future. But as they prepared to land, the ship's sensors picked up another signal. A fleet of Void Marauder ships was closing in, their weapons armed and ready. The race for the truth had begun, and the stakes were higher than ever. The Eclipse descended through the atmosphere of the lush, green planet, its cloaking systems masking its presence from the Void Marauder fleet closing in from above. Alex stared at the ruins below, their heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and dread. The ancient structures, overgrown with vegetation, bore the same symbols as the Eclipse, a clear sign that this planet held the answers they sought. As the ship landed in a clearing near the largest ruin, Alex prepared to disembark. The AI activated a protective shield around the ship, ensuring it would remain hidden and secure. "Operator, the signal originates from within the central structure. Proceed with caution." Alex nodded, grabbing a handheld scanner and a small energy pistol from the ship's armory. They stepped onto the planet's surface, the air thick with the scent of alien flora. The ruins loomed ahead, their massive stone blocks covered in moss and vines. As Alex approached the central structure, the scanner picked up faint energy readings. The symbols on the walls began to glow softly, reacting to their presence. A hidden door slid open, revealing a dark passageway. Inside, the air was cool and still. The walls were lined with holographic panels, flickering to life as Alex moved deeper into the structure. The panels displayed images of the Eternan civilization, their cities, their technology, their downfall. It was a history lesson from a forgotten age. At the heart of the structure, Alex found a massive chamber. In the center stood a pedestal, atop which rested a small, crystalline device. The scanner indicated that the device was the source of the signal. As Alex approached, a holographic figure materialized above the pedestal. It was an Eternan, their features serene and wise. The figure spoke in the same ancient language, but the Eclipse's AI translated the words. "Welcome, operator. You have proven yourself worthy by reaching this place. The device before you is the key of Aeterna. It holds the knowledge and power of our civilization, but it must be used wisely. The Eclipse was built to protect this key, for it can bring great prosperity, or great destruction." Alex reached out and took the key of Aeterna. As their hand closed around it, a surge of energy coursed through them, and visions flooded their mind. They saw the rise and fall of the Eternans, their triumphs and their mistakes. They saw the Eclipse being built, not as a weapon, but as a guardian. And they saw the potential of the key, a power that could unite the galaxy or tear it apart. The holographic figure spoke again. "The choice is yours, operator. Use the key wisely, for the fate of the galaxy rests in your hands." Before Alex could respond, the ground shook violently. The scanner alerted them to an incoming threat. The Void Marauders had landed on the planet and were closing in on the ruins. Alex sprinted back to the Eclipse, the key of Aeterna clutched tightly in their hand. As they reached the ship, the first Marauder troops emerged from the trees, their weapons raised. The Eclipse's AI activated the ship's defenses, firing precision shots that forced the Marauders to retreat. Alex boarded the ship, and the engines roared to life as it ascended into the sky. But the Marauders weren't giving up. Their ships rose to meet the Eclipse, weapons blazing. The warship's shields absorbed the attacks, and its plasma cannons returned fire, cutting through the enemy vessels with ease. As the Eclipse broke through the atmosphere, Alex looked down at the key of Aeterna. They knew the galaxy would never be the same. The storm was gathering, and they were at the center of it. The Eclipse soared through the void, leaving the green planet and the Void Marauders far behind. Alex sat on the bridge, the key of Aeterna resting in their hands. The weight of its power, and its responsibility, was almost overwhelming. The visions they had seen in the ruins played over and over in their mind, a constant reminder of what was at stake. The AI's voice broke the silence. "Operator, the Void Marauders are no longer pursuing us. However, long-range sensors have detected a new threat. The United Stellar Alliance has dispatched a fleet to intercept us. They are approaching at high speed." Alex sighed. Of course the Alliance would come after them. The Eclipse was too powerful, too dangerous to be left in the hands of an unknown operator. But Alex couldn't let them take the ship, or the key of Aeterna. "Can we outrun them?" Alex asked. "Negative," the AI replied. "The Alliance fleet is equipped with advanced tracking systems. Evasion is unlikely." Alex clenched their fists. They didn't want to fight the Alliance, but they had no choice. The Eclipse was their only hope of protecting the key and uncovering its secrets. "Prepare the ship for combat," Alex said, their voice steady. "But don't fire unless they attack first." The Eclipse's systems hummed as its weapons and shields came online. The Alliance fleet appeared on the holographic map, their ships forming a tight formation as they closed in. A transmission came through, and Admiral Rin's stern face appeared on the screen. "Unidentified operator, this is your final warning. Surrender the Eclipse and the artifact in your possession. If you resist, we will use force." Alex hesitated. They didn't want to fight, but they couldn't surrender. "Admiral, this ship and the key it protects are not weapons. They're tools that could help the galaxy, if used wisely. Please, just let me explain." Rin's expression hardened. "Your intentions don't matter. The Eclipse is too dangerous to remain in your hands. Surrender now, or face the consequences." The transmission ended, and the Alliance fleet moved into attack position. Alex took a deep breath. "AI, do what you have to do. But try to disable their ships, not destroy them." The Eclipse sprang into action, its cloaking device activating as it maneuvered through the Alliance fleet. The Alliance ships fired, their energy beams slicing through the void, but the Eclipse's shields absorbed the attacks. The warship returned fire, targeting the Alliance ship's engines and weapons systems. One by one, the Alliance vessels were disabled, left drifting helplessly in space. Admiral Rin's ship was the last to fall. As the Eclipse's plasma cannons disabled her engines, Rin's face appeared on the screen once more. Her expression was a mix of anger and disbelief. "You don't understand what you're doing," she said. "That ship, that key, they're not meant for you. You're playing with forces you can't control." Alex met her gaze. "Maybe. But I have to try. The galaxy deserves to know the truth." The transmission ended, and the Eclipse slipped into a warp corridor, leaving the disabled Alliance fleet behind. As the ship traveled through the void, Alex stared at the Key of Aeterna. The storm was growing, and they were running out of time. The galaxy's fate hung in the balance, and the final act was about to begin. The Eclipse emerged from the warp corridor near a remote star system, its engines humming softly as it drifted through the void. Alex sat on the bridge, the Key of Aeterna glowing faintly in their hands. The visions it had shown them were clearer now, a path to a hidden station, the last remnant of the Eternan civilization. It was there that the key's true purpose would be revealed. But time was running out. The Void Marauders and the United Stellar Alliance were both hunting the Eclipse, and Alex knew it wouldn't be long before they caught up. The galaxy's fate depended on what happened next. "Set a course for the coordinates the key provided," Alex said, their voice firm. "We need to end this before it's too late." The Eclipse accelerated, its sleek hull cutting through the darkness like a shadow. As they approached the hidden station, the ship's sensors detected an energy signature unlike anything Alex had ever seen. The station was massive, its design both ancient and advanced, with glowing symbols etched into its surface. But as the Eclipse drew closer, the sensors picked up another signal, a fleet of Void Marauder ships, led by Kale himself. They had arrived first, and they were already boarding the station. Alex's heart sank. "We can't let them get the key's secrets. Prepare for combat." The Eclipse descended toward the station, its weapons systems primed. The Marauders' ships opened fire, but the warship's shields held strong. Alex guided the Eclipse through the barrage, landing in a docking bay on the station's surface. As they stepped onto the station, the Key of Aeterna pulsed with energy, guiding them toward the central chamber. The station systems activated as they moved, holographic panels lighting up with ancient text and images. But the Marauders were already inside. Alex could hear their footsteps echoing through the corridors, their voices growing louder as they closed in. The final confrontation was inevitable. In the central chamber, Kale stood waiting, his eyes gleaming with greed. "So, you're the one who's been causing all this trouble," he said, his voice dripping with disdain. "Hand over the key, and I might let you live." Alex tightened their grip on the Key of Aeterna. "This isn't just a weapon. It's a responsibility. I can't let you have it." Kale laughed. "Responsibility? Power is the only responsibility. And I intend to wield it." He raised his weapon, but before he could fire, the station systems activated. The Key of Aeterna glowed brightly, and a holographic figure appeared, the same Eternan from the ruins. "This station is a sanctuary, not a weapon," the figure said. "The key's power is knowledge, the wisdom to build, to create, to unite. But it can also destroy, if misused." Kale sneered. "I don't need wisdom. I need power." He lunged for the key, but Alex activated its defenses. A burst of energy sent Kale sprawling, and the station began to collapse around them. "Operator, you must leave," the AI urged. "The station is destabilizing." Alex hesitated, then turned and ran, the Key of Aeterna in hand. The Eclipse was waiting, its engines roaring as it ascended into the void. Behind them, the station exploded in a brilliant flash of light, taking Kale and his ambitions with it. As the eclipse sped away, Alex looked at the key. The galaxy's fate was still uncertain, but they had taken the first step toward a brighter future. The eclipse had risen, and the galaxy would never be the same.